Welcome to the University of Michigan's inaugural game in their new lacrosse stadium this year as the Wolverines take on the Cleveland State Vikings in the first game of the men's lacrosse season. The Vikings, traveling from Cleveland State, just took on the Wolverines' rival, the Ohio State Buckeyes, losing 13-6. And this is a new season for the Wolverines and a new season for Cleveland State. Both teams are relatively new to the lacrosse scene. The 7th season for the Wolverines and only the 3rd for the Cleveland State Vikings. As the Wolverines are taking the field now, we'll go over the starters quick for the Cleveland State Vikings first. Number 1, Stephen Massey will be an attackman. Number 4, Nick Wendell will be playing midfield. Number 7, Derek Radke will be playing attack. Number 11, Michael Wilson will be playing attack. Number 14, Skylar Jimenez will be on the defensive side. Number 17, Brandon Ruditz will be playing defense. Number 18, Marshall Amon getting his first start in goal for the Vikings. Number 22, Tristan Copeland, will be playing midfield for the Vikings. Number 27, Noah Gleason will be at midfield. And number 29, Isaac Atisho will be on defense. And for the Wolverines, the starters read as follow. For attack, you have number 12, making his first start in the Wolverines uniform, Kevin Mack. Also making his first start, freshman Alex Buckenvidge. And junior Rocco Sutherland bringing up the rear behind the cage. For the midfield, you have Decker Curran, Brett Noseworthy, and JP Boggle. And for the defense, you have Borda, Goonan, and DiCaprio running from left to right. And in goal, making his first start for the Wolverines, is Trowbridge. So, Daniel, this is the first game of this season. New hope this year. A great non-conference slate last year, not a great conference slate. How do you think the Wolverines can win this game and be competitive in the Big Ten this year?
Well, we know the Cleveland State is certainly a worthwhile opponent. As you and I were talking before the game, they took Ohio State to the wire. They kept it really close with the defending national runners-up. But Michigan should be a stronger team than Cleveland State. We know that Ohio State lost a lot of talent last year, so that you would expect them to take a step back. Cleveland State's a very young program, younger than Michigan, in fact. They only have 1 senior on this team and 0 juniors, as we were discussing. So Michigan is also quite a young team. A lot of their best talent is young. So they're not really necessarily more experienced in the starting lineups. But nonetheless, I think if Michigan doesn't get fazed by the cold, it's 22 degrees here, in fact. But as long as they keep their focus, they should be fine. Don't get ahead of themselves and play the way they know how. They should be able to get the win here.
And the Wolverines and the Vikings are stepping up to the X right now. For the Wolverines, it will be number 11, Michael McConnell at the face-off X. And for the Vikings, it will be number 5, Danny Tessler. We're getting ready to get underway here. Ball's placed down. Refs making sure hand placement is perfect here. Snowy day here in Ann Arbor. And the whistle is blown. The Wolverines gain possession here. Decker Curran getting the ball past the halfway line, passing it on Rocco Sutherland. Up towards the midway line. Passes it behind the cage to Kevin Mack and Alex Buckenvidge. Working the ball behind the cage. Looks like number 33, JP Boggle, will be the short stick midfielder today. Kevin Mack tries a dodge on one of the Cleveland State Vikings defenders. We're seeing a slow attack here, something reminiscent of John Tillman that Kevin Connery, the new head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, has brought. And a great first shot by number 15, Brett Noseworthy. Deep shot. Cleveland State gave him a chance to get a step in, and he nails it. Bottom left corner. First goal of the season for Brett Noseworthy. And this team lives and dies by their starting midfielder.
And first goal for Kevin Conner as the University of Michigan head coach. You have high praise for him. You're a Maryland guy from Maryland, originally moved to Michigan later on, but you're very familiar with that Maryland program, rather. You have a lot of good things to say about Kevin Conner. He starts off his career great with Michigan scoring a goal on their first ever possession in the Kevin Conner era.
Great defensive coach, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do for the offense as well. You know, John Tillman was in charge of the offense there in Maryland, and he did a great job setting it up with Matt Rambo, Colin Heacock. Let's see if he can bring some of that to Michigan. It looks like that first possession reminiscent of what the new Michigan era is in lacrosse. Stepping up to the X again is McDonald and Tessler. Ref setting it up. The whistle is blown. And an infraction by the Cleveland State Vikings will give the ball to Decker Curran and the Wolverines.
Couldn't ask for much better of a start, winning both face-offs by default or not, either way. Up 1-0. They've won both faceoffs.
And number 42, Alex Buckenvidge, takes his first shot in the Wolverine uniform. Little jumper off one leg. Interesting first shot, not what you want to see, but good to see some confidence there from the young freshman.
No, that sailed pretty wide of the cage. It was pretty easily corralled by Cleveland State, not a Wolverine in the area to pick that one up. But yeah, as he said, good to see the confidence, good to see these freshmen not fazed by the temperature, the scene at all. They're out there playing how they know how to.
And Rocco Sutherland with a hit out of bounds there on number 47, Gideon Brockenbrough for the Cleveland State Vikings, and that's going to be a penalty. He's going to have at least 30 seconds in the box, so it's going to be a man-down defense for the Wolverines, and let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Cleveland State not having a real offensive possession yet so far. They recovered the errant shot and just kind of ran around the midfield before attacking it all. Now they're going to be a man up. It's a really great opportunity for them to get back up into this game. We'll have to see what they do here as play begins.
Lawn stick defenseman for the Wolverines is going to be Sam Bowdry, checking in for Dan DiCaprio. The Vikings are passing it around the edge. Getting it behind the cage now. Giving the Vikings a step. And that looks like they're not too afraid of those deep shots. And a great interception there by number 35, Michael Borda. Great turnover there. That's something that... And Michigan gives it right back. But no, who is that? Number 10, Sean McCann corrals it. But the Vikings do steal it back. And get a shot there, but a great save by Trowbridge. And the Wolverines are on the counterattack now.
What a save by Trowbridge. Intercepted it with his stick, was able to pass it right toward the offense.
And Decker Curran with a pass to Avery Myers, who sets up a shot. Had a shot there, upper 90, top left corner, and that goes in for the Wolverines to give them a 2-0 lead.
And it looks like they're waving off that goal. It's going to stay 1-0. I'm not sure if you picked up the infraction.
Might have been an offsides there. Not sure the call there. Great offensive possession, but it will not count, excuse me. And Rocco Sutherland is back out there as both teams are at full strength. And Rocco Sutherland hits the Viking player out of bounds, but will not get called for a penalty here. It will be Michigan ball. And number 12 runs to the halfway line, passes to Myers. 1-0 Michigan with 12:08 left in the first quarter. PJ Boggle will hold it towards the Michigan M as the Wolverines will make a substitution and bring Brett Noseworthy back in the game. Now Kevin Mack has it behind the cage. Passing it around. Boggle gets it back by the Big Ten logo now. New field looks great here. A little bit of a rough passing game to start here for the Wolverines. The snow looks like it's having an effect on them.
Indeed, this new field is quite the scene, really pristine and just kind of covered with snow everywhere. We got about a 5-foot pile of snow along the far sideline.
Kevin Mack, quick dodge move, gets around his defender, and that did not go in. Looks like Amon got a piece of that to save it, but a great dodge move.
Indeed, we heard the fans go wild. They thought it was the goal. Nonetheless, the players knew better, but Michigan...
Interesting call there to give it to the Vikings. It's going to be another offside call. And the Vikings are running now.
And I think the scoreboard operator got confused. It says 2-0 here up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it is 1-0
yeah.
still.
Well, we can assure you there've only been 2 face-offs in this game, only one following a goal. So it is 1-0. We can assure you that, although it does say 2-0 here on the board in Ann Arbor.
It does look like the ball's gone in the net 3 times, but 2 goals have been waved off. Oh, and a great pass inside by the Vikings, but it goes off a Michigan player, go out of bounds, and the Vikings will retain possession.
I wonder how long it's going to take him to fix this. It's still 2-0 on the board.
Yeah, new stadium here.
True, the scoreboard operator might not be quite familiar yet.
Yeah, gotta give him a little break here in the early season.
So you heard it here, folks. It's still 1-0.
More accurate than the Michigan scoreboard right now. Dodge attempt by the Vikings, passes it up front. Number 1 rushes in, quick pass to number 11, and an easy score in there right outside of the goal line extended. Looks like that was number 11, Michael Wilson. And an easy goal there, defensive miscue. And Kevin Connor's talking to number 40, J.D. Carroll, right now. And looks like there was a little bit of a defensive malfunction there.
Yeah, you really can't let a guy get that wide open in front of the crease like that. That's a very high percentage shot when you have a man that wide open with only the keeper to beat. That's going to be really hard to blame that on Tobridge. He had really nothing he could do there. His defense left him for hanging.
McDonald and Tesler at the X again, both kicking off snow from the M, trying to make it a little bit easier. Get their hands down. Refs hasn't been very stingy at the X now, but McConnell gets that one. Oh, he falls, and the Vikings are going to corral that. So 2 face-off wins now for the Vikings.
Scoreboard is correct. It now says 1-1.
Finally getting in. Number 2 gets an easy shot on there. He had a step on his defender, but a great stop by Trowbridge. And now the counterattack here. Michigan does have numbers, but they're going to choose to run it up. And Rocco Sutherland takes a shot there. Great save by Amon. And Kevin Mack will corral that and bring it behind the cage. Passing it along to Buckenvidge on the other side. Little 1-2 game here behind the cage. And Mack's going to attack. Take a shot. Hit hard on that. And Buckenvidge is going to keep the ball. And they're going to reset on the top of the key here.
What a great effort by Buckenvidge to end up being the closest to the ball and retain possession for the Wolverines. He was behind the Cleveland State defender, but he had a great sprint in order to earn possession back for the Wolverines.
Alex Buckenvidge and Kevin Mack, the 2 highly touted freshmen for the Wolverines, both getting their first start here. And number 10, Sean McKenna, takes a deep shot there. Looks like wide left there, but the Wolverines are going to retain possession. Rocco Sutherland the first to the end line. Kevin Mack, little pick and pop there with Brett Noseworthy behind the goal, something we Wolverines fans are used to seeing. Another shot there, no good, wide left. Haven't hit the goal many times for the Wolverines as Mack will corral it again.
Still working here, taking their time. They want to find the best look they can. Cleveland State had about as good of a look as you're going to see all game with a man wide in front of the crease. We'll see if the Wolverines can find a shot they like.
And that's going to be a push off of McKenna. And that's going to give the ball to the Vikings.
And that's why you can't take forever, because eventually you are going to commit some kind of foul or commit some form of error, and you're going to end up losing possession.
Yeah, you don't want to see that chicken wing there pushing off against its defender. That's going to get called every time, especially in these snowy conditions.
Yeah, it could be hard, could be easy for a player to just kind of get cold, shiver, and not want to move around too much, but the Wolverines, they have every incentive to stay warm here. They should be moving around, trying their best to get open and set up an easy goal for their teammates.
Interesting to see the Vikings slowing it down here. Passing it made largely in the midfield now. Looking to attack right now. Pass it to number 1, who's going to man up. Back his guy down a pick roll here. Let's see, number 7 has a step. Not going to take a shot, though. He's just going to run straight inside, gets by the defense, and a great play by number 9, Nick DiCaprio, to get his stick on that because the Viking player got straight by the Wolverines defense. And the Vikings start fast and lose the ball. Chase Young now has it. 1-1 here in the inaugural game for the Wolverines. 7:44 left in the first quarter. Pass to number 42, Alex Buckenvidge, right outside the crease, and he hammers that home. First freshman goal for the Buckenvidge from New York. Great player there, and great play there to take the lead back for the Wolverines.
And you can hear the crowd go wild a bit. It's quite an impressive crowd here, despite the 22-degree weathers. There is well over 100 fans in attendance here for the Wolverines. They are filling up all of the sections in the middle here of the stadium.
And it's great to see for a Wolverine program that struggled with attendance in the past.
Certainly helped with the move from the big house here to their own stadium. It's going to help make the stadium feel a lot more full.
Beautiful new stadium. Haven't acknowledged that yet.
No, it's been a fantastic venue. We are inside here. We have an open window, so we're a bit chilly, but this is a great warm stadium outside of the one spot where we have to be. But it really has been a fantastic venue. Very clean, very just modern looking. Really will be a great recruiting tool in the future for the men's and women's players, seeing how nice of a venue they have.
Clean win there for McConnell, but they will get the face-off win there, but a turnover there by Trowbridge, and number 2, Finn Goonan, will give the ball to the Vikings. Good job at the X so far by McDonald. Not dominant, but solid so far. The Vikings have possession. making a sub in the midfield to get an extra short stick out there. They have a short stick on a short stick now. Let's see if they do anything. Nope, they're going to pass out of it. Great defensive positioning, something Connery was known for at Maryland. And we're seeing that from Goonan, Eric Smith, and Michael Broda right now. Passing on the midfield. Chase Young, the only short stick out there right now. 18 on him now. And a defensive miscue again. This time it looks like it was number 31, Sam Boundary, who just got lost behind the goal. And that's going to be an easy goal for Cleveland State and tie it up at 2. Let's see who they're going to give that one to.
Indeed, it appeared that the Wolverines were in a man defense, and then someone lost their man as they wrapped behind the cage. A good set of offensive maneuvers by the Vikings. Nonetheless, the Wolverine lost his man. That left another one wide open. And Cleveland State, you could not buy better shots than the 2 goals Cleveland State has converted so far.
Yeah, defensive miscues have been the story here in Ann Arbor for the Michigan lacrosse team. Looks like early on, Connery has not been able to stop that. But let's see if offense can step up here and take the lead again. McDonald and Tessler at the X. That goal will go to Copeland. Let's see, Tristan Copeland, number 22. And the Vikings will win that one, the second win. A second win of 5 for the Vikings. Number 1, running the ball out, passed it back towards the midfield. Oh, the Wolverines slipping. Looks like they're getting a little bit lost here. Number 35, Michael Broda, on the ball right now. He's passing along the wing, making some subs. Getting another short stick in here. Number 1 checks back in. Number 4, Nick Wendell with the ball right now. Passing it behind the cage are the Vikings. 2-2, 5:54 left in the first quarter now.
Vikings definitely taking their time. They have not really forced much penetration, just moving the ball around the offensive zone.
Looking for a pass behind the cage, but great defense by number 1, Avery Myers. Known as an offensive player, but playing some short stick defense here. And a terrible miscommunication there by number 9, Nick DiCaprio, and Myers. Just lost their defender. And he gets an easy shot there with Trowbridge saves. And that's going to be Michigan ball there out of bounds. And
yeah, that ball ricocheted off Trowbridge several feet into the air. That went really high, and it's eventually rolled out of bounds.
And the Wolverines did get lucky there, as that's the 3rd wide open shot that the Vikings have had. And defense looks like it's slipping here, struggling on the snow, and just losing their man on defense. You mentioned this man defense. Interesting to see how the Wolverines change it up a little bit. And they're going to call a moving screen on the Wolverines in the midfield. That's something you cannot do. Number 88 running the ball up. A couple long sticks here. They're going to make a switch here. Vikings passing in the midfield. Looks like they're a man up right now. But number 50 runs back to make it equal there. And number 1 dodges straight by the defender. And looks like number 35, Michael Broda, is going to get another turnover there for the Wolverines as he just picked that off. Great defense there. Chase Young's running up now. No one stopping the ball here. He's going to run straight up. Finally, they do. Behind the cage now is Sutherland and Mack. A bad pass there by Mack, but luckily that's going to be an offsides call. Number 4, Decker Curran, just had a mental mistake there, just passed it over the end line. And the Wolverines are not not looking very composed right now.
Decker Curran was given almost a golden opportunity, got a bit too excited and crossed the line to recover the ball. The ball went flying backward and sailing right towards Curran, who was waiting on the defensive side. You can only have six men in the offensive zone. He was waiting for the ball. Got a little bit too eager across the line, and therefore committed the turnover here for the Wolverines. Although the referees are sorting this out, it appears that most of the Michigan players are hanging out on the Cleveland State side of the ball.
Looks like there was an errant whistle that maybe made Decker pass the line. Let's see, the refs are going to give an explanation to both Connery And the Vikings head coach, Dylan Sheridan. And it's going to be Vikings ball.
Yeah, I heard quite a few "Let's go" chants from the Cleveland side of the field on their sideline. They seemed excited about something, so that ruling must have gone in their favor. It's going to be Cleveland State ball as now everyone shifts over toward the Michigan defensive zone. And we're going to start with Cleveland State ball here with 4:14 to go in the first quarter. Game all tied up 2-2.
Interesting call there. Looks like Connery's still a little bit confused there. 3 attackmen for the Wolverines still conferring. Sitting back by the midway line, and the Vikings are attacking. Looks like a dodge there by number 4. Getting inside. Passes it behind the cage. Nice little pick there. And that's going to be a moving... Oh, it looks like he stepped in the restricted area. And that's going to make it the Wolverines' ball.
Wolverines have been very fast to get back on the attack today, and I think that is going to lead to some goals down the road.
Number 50, Parker McGee this time running the ball up. Let's see if a combination of Sutherland, Mack, and Buckenvidge can start something for the Wolverines. Sutherland methodically picking his spot here. They've tried to run the Vikings out of the stadium, and it hasn't worked so far.
Michigan taking it easy now, waiting for Derek Huron to come in and restart the offense.
Brett Noseworthy taking the ball now. Looks like he's going to pick his man him up, and loses the ball there. Mack tries to get it, but can't. This time he does. Keeps the ball. Good ground ball pickup by the Wolverines. Curran now at the top. Passes it to number 33, P.J. Boggle. Gets it behind the cage. Now it's Buckenvidge. Passes it to Curran. Great pass. Great find there by Buckenvidge. And a great, easy put in there for Derek Curran for his first goal this season. And that will put up the Wolverines 3-2 over Cleveland State with 2:47 left in this first quarter.
So it looked like Curran had made the error, costing the Wolverines the ball on their previous possession. Makes up for it there. He makes a great just sprint toward the crease as he sees it get open as the Cleveland State players try to chase the ball. He recognized where the Cleveland State players were going, cut in, and got wide open. Great pass by his teammate. Easy shot there for Curran. Did a fantastic job getting open. Wolverines take the lead now, 3-2, 2:47 to play in the first quarter.
McDonald Tessler stepping up to the X again. McDonald has won this battle today. 3 wins for him out of 5. Let's see what happens on this. The whistle's blown. Looks like McDonald has won every one, but the Vikings are getting to the ball first. And they take a fast shot there. Great save by Trowbridge. That was number 7 for the Vikings. Derek Radke taking the early shot. Not much of a step there, but still a great shot there. An even better save by Trowbridge. Ground ball there by Mack. Mack passes it to Sutherland. Sutherland has a 1-on-3 here with Buckenvidge behind the cage. And they're going to slow it down and set something up here. 2:17 left in the first quarter. 3-2 Wolverines. Buckenvidge is manning up here. And Derek Curran is running towards the ball right now. We'll get the pass. Pass to Noseworthy up top, and then to Boggle. Boggle's got short stick defender on him, and he's going to take he's going to pass Sutherland underneath. Sutherland looked like he wanted to pass it inside to Boggle, but loses him, and that's going to be a turnover for the Wolverines with an errant pass from Sutherland. And Connery does not look happy with his junior attacker there.
No, that was an errant possession there. Lost the ball and sort of an unforced turnover. Wolverines don't want to do that if they want to hold on to this lead, but another
Vikings
mistake
turn
there.
It right back there. Another errant pass here as number 9, Nick DiCaprio, will bring the ball up. But he's going to get back and make a change here for the Wolverines as Derek Curran will come on offense. Looks like Curran's going to be the main short stick offensive midfielder for the Wolverines this year.
And it's hard to argue with him right now after that fantastic goal he had to make this a 3-2 game. Really had a good sense of where the ball was on the field and where he could get open and exploited a wide open crease.
Vikings moving to his zone here, but Boggle passes it to the top. 42 Buckenvidge beats his man. Passes it to Sutherland. Passes it inside to Boggle. Boggle takes a shot, and it's going to be over the crossbar. Buckenvidge is first to the ball, though, and will get the possession and keep the possession for the Wolverines.
The Vikings are going to have to do a better job preventing the Wolverines from encroaching in toward the crease.
50 seconds now left in the first quarter here. Derek Kern passing about in front of the midway line. Boggle to Kern. Kern trying to set something up with 38 seconds left. Buckenvidge. Noseworthy up top. Now to Kern. Kern's looking at the man up. He dodges. Gets around two defenders. Goes behind the cage. Passes to Noseworthy. He's got a step. And he just ripped that. You cannot give Brett Noseworthy a step there. The second leading scorer for Michigan last year. Steps into a shot. Easy goal for the Wolverines to make it 4-2. Looks like the assist is going to go to Boggle there. Great passing all across the board there. Easy goal for the Wolverines. You're
absolutely right there. You cannot give Noseworthy any room to step into his shot. And from a pretty close range shot as well. He was maybe about 7 yards from the cage there. He's able to take a step into his shot and just rip one at the goal. Had to feel bad there for the Cleveland State keeper. Not much you can do with Brent Noseworthy stepping into a shot like that.
And that goal is going to go to Noseworthy with the assist to Decker Kern, Great shot, upper right-hand corner, and both teams are at the X now. The Wolverines win that face-off. Southern with a quick shot there.
They've got to hurry. 15.3 seconds. They're going to keep the ball.
And it looks like a timeout from the Wolverines here.
Good call. Yeah.
15 seconds. You got a chance for one shot here.
Good decision by head coach Kevin Connery. 15.3 seconds. You have the ball. Your offense has been in a real great rhythm over the past 5 minutes of play. Really want to take advantage of this and make it a 3-goal lead going into the first quarter. Wolverines up 4-2. They're going to have to operate real quickly here. Not going to have a lot of time for a real sophisticated offense. Can't try to pass the ball around and force an opening.
And I know we've given Noseworthy a lot of praise today, and it's well-deserved. But the catalyst for this Michigan offense so far has been Alex Buckenvidge. 2 assists so far and a goal. He's looked great behind the cage, managing the offense. Looks completely at home in this Big Ten new offense for the Wolverines. And the snow's coming down kind of hard now. See how this affects the X, essentially, and the rest of the offense. It looks like we've got some errant passes today. But for the majority for the Wolverines, they're doing a good job passing it around and picking their spots on offense.
Indeed, the snow has definitely been a factor here. Brent Noseworthy, the Canadian from Burlington, Ontario, it has not slowed him down much at all. Meanwhile, Matt Tobridge, the keeper from St. Louis, Mississippi, has also had a fantastic game. So showing that despite the fact he may be from Mississippi, the snow has not bothered him whatsoever. Had a great game and made a lot of stick saves and passed the ball forward well, trying to set up offense, creating offense with his defense. Teams are taking the field here. We'll see what Michigan has drawn up for the final 15.3 seconds of play as we are about to get underway.
And Mack will start behind the cage with the ball. And the refs tosses it to him. And the whistle is blown. 15 seconds left. Buckenvidge dodges his man, running across. Gives it to Sutherland. Sutherland manning up, 7 seconds left. Gets a step on his defender. And takes a quick shot. That's going to be saved by Amon. Great save there with 1 second left, and they're just going to hold it to end the quarter. It's going to be 4-2 at the end of the first quarter. Michigan is leading. 13 shots for the Wolverines, 5 for Cleveland State. What has been the key for Michigan getting this lead thus far in the game?
Time of possession. It looks like Cleveland State might have actually done better with the ball. They've had some wide open looks. But points per possession, I think, are probably about even. Michigan may be doubling Cleveland State, but they've had the ball for probably twice as long as Cleveland State has. They've really been dominant on that front.
You're 100% right. And if we're just looking at on-goal shots here, of the 5 shots that Cleveland State has taken, 4 of them have been on goal, and that speaks to how great the shots they've taken are. And for the Wolverines, they do have 14 shots now, but only 6 of them have been on goal. So you got to like the percentage there by the Cleveland State Vikings. Interesting at the X, face-off wins from Tesler are 3 and from McDonald 4, so it's a very even matchup at the X, and that's something that we've been talking about for the entire offseason. Michigan needs to get better at. McDonald struggled a lot last year, 42% face-off percentage, and you got to do better in the Big Ten if you want to be competitive with these Maryland, Johns Hopkins, Ohio State, Penn State, Rutgers. I feel like I just named off a whole conference there, but that's how good the Big Ten is in lacrosse. And if you want to be competitive with those schools, you got to have a 50% or above win at the X. Right now, they're doing that. But this is a Cleveland State team that Michigan should put away easily, and hopefully we can see McConnell sort of take a hold of this matchup here against Tesler, and kind of throw his weight around. And if he can't, it might be worth maybe looking towards Connor Crowan, highly rated freshman, to get some chances here at the X.
Indeed, as you were saying, the Big Ten might as well be the SEC of college lacrosse. We know we had an SEC college football championship. Non-SEC fans like myself were not too happy about that. Last year we had Maryland and Ohio State in the championship game, all Big Ten matchup. And
adding Johns Hopkins last year to the Big Ten only made it stronger. And top to bottom, this is by far the best conference in the Big Ten. And McDonald and Tesler will step up to the X to start this second half. And the ref is making sure that his hand placement is what he wants. He blows the whistle, and the second half is underway. McDonald will not corral it, but he'll hit it back. So the ball is still on the ground. Avery Myers is fighting for it, and he decks, who is at number 5, Danny Tesler, and puts him on the ground, and that's going to give the ball to the Vikings there. Cannot push off your man like that. Great play by number 31, Sam Boundary, to just knock the ball out there and give it to the Wolverines, but the Wolverines turn it over right back, and number 2, Jared Stepka from the midfield will steal that. And a very messy first possession there. I don't even know if you could call that a possession there. And a timeout by the Vikings. And that was 38 seconds of gameplay there, and I think we saw 4 turnovers.
It was crazy. Boundary just basically blindsided the Cleveland State ball carrier. He did not see him coming at all, just came with a violent smash of the stick and freed the ball. Yeah. Really got lit up there. That could have hyped up the Wolverines, maybe giving them a ferocious offensive possession. That wasn't the case, though. They went and turned the ball over right away. And it's going to be officially 38 seconds went off the clock there. And, yeah, 4 turnovers. Really sloppy start to the second quarter. It was impressive how well these teams played in the snow in the first quarter, really not letting that affect them too much. Here, though, we maybe were seeing the effects of the snow. I think it's actually subsided. For the past 2 days in Ann Arbor, it's just been snowing nonstop. And right now it appears to be very faintly drizzling over the field right now.
It still has an effect on the players, and, it's hard to tell unless you've played in it, but just getting these ground balls and making these passes when the ball is so wet is so difficult. And, this isn't a sport with basketball or football where your hand's directly in contact with it. You're using a stick there, you have your grip with your stick, and, you hope that your gloves can mitigate that a little bit, but still the snow and the water is gotta be so hard on the Wolverines and the Vikings right now, and it makes life very difficult, especially when you're a defensive long pole or a midi long pole. Just passing the ball is something of a trick here. So the Vikings are going to get the ball back. Both teams use a timeout. 14:22 left in the second quarter, and the ref will blow the whistle. Get this underway. I consider this a real start of the second quarter. Let's see if we can have an actual possession here.
Yeah, I think Cleveland State already has the longest possession of the second quarter because this has gone on for more than 6 seconds.
And the Vikings get it behind the cage, but pass it back to up front. Number 1, Stephen Massey will man up and backing down his man. Backing him down. He's got a short stick on him. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Chase Young steps under a screen there. Awkward possession there, but number 2, Finn Conan, will get the ball there and corral it, but Chase Young loses it, and he gets it back. He's going to run it back past midfield. No one's stopping the ball here. He's going to keep running down Broadway. Passes it to, looks like number 30. Yes, number 30. That's going to be,
50, I think. Parker McKee.
I'm sorry, 50. It's hard to see with the snow here. 50, Parker McKee takes a quick shot there off of Amon, and that's going to be the Wolverines' ball. But Brett Noseworthy has it now.
Definitely the Wolverines wearing white with some maize trims today, so the snow kind of blends in with their uniforms. Meanwhile, Cleveland State wearing that Philadelphia Eagles midnight green, the color of champions recently. Let's see if the Wolverines can overcome that white
Mac behind the cage. Quick shot there, and Sutherland and a Cleveland State player will run to the ball, but Sutherland will get there first. And the Wolverines will retain possession. That is not a shot on goal there. Still a great play by Mac to get across, and quick shot there by Myers. Go over the cage, but Kevin Mack is there again.
I think the Wolverines have retained every possession that went out of bounds behind the cage.
A great play by Mack to get across there. Ooh, a great save by Damon. Goes straight to number 19. Myers gets it. Passing it to number 42, Buckenvidge. Buckenvidge backing down his man, gets right inside, and they're going to call a foul there. And that's going to count, and it's going to be a foul on the Vikings for pushing Buckenvidge into the restricted area. Buckenvidge just manned up his defender and just took him to town. That is a dirty play by Buckenvidge. His second goal of the game. He's already got 2 assists. 4 points for the freshman here. And I think we're starting to see the freshman movement here in the attacking on the attack line, especially. You look for the Wolverines last year. Ian King was their leading scorer at 47 points, and I mean, Alex Buckenvidge already has 1/10 of that in this game. So we're seeing a great play by Buckenvidge here, and hopefully this will continue for the rest of the game. 5-2 Wolverines, 12:29 left in the second quarter.
It looks like Buckenvidge will be our rising star of the game. He's been all over. I'm certain his name has been called more than anyone else's. He's just been all over, and he kind of did the lacrosse version of posterizing someone right there, cutting between 2 defenders for a really athletic goal. Very impressive possession there by Buckenvidge, kind of taking everything into his own hands.
At the X there. McDonald wins that one again, and just a terrible pass by the defender there, but the Wolverines will retain it. Number 8, Hunter Besco, who's been working faceoffs as a long stick this year, will bring the ball past the midway line, and Buckenvidge has it again. This time to Noseworthy. Noseworthy playing midfield for the first time of his career here. Boggle's got the ball now. Passing it across the midway line. Curran, Boggle, and Noseworthy, the 4 midfielders passing it now. Passes to Sutherland on the right wing. Sutherland gets by his man. Passes to Curran inside. Curran tries to take a shot, but the ball falls out of his stick. Rocco passes it behind the cage to Kevin Mack. 11:36 left in the game. Mack running across the circle, gets doubled, passes to Sutherland. Sutherland to Boggle. Boggle across to Noseworthy. Noseworthy take a shot, and that's going to not hit either the goalie or the cage, but it's just going to go out of bounds. But Kevin Mack is there again, and he's gotten so many of these out-of-bounds plays, and that's an invaluable service for your team.
Indeed, that's why Michigan has been dominating time of possession so much here, because they always are the team that gets the ball when it goes out of bounds behind the cage.
And Sutherland, the only returning attackman on this team right now. Pass inside to Buckenvidge, who just breaks the ankles of number 22. Tristan Copeland for the Vikings takes an easy shot there, but a great save by Amon, and he just made him look silly there. That had to do with the snow, obviously, but a great dodge there to just put him on his back.
Buckenvidge's quickness was so impressive, given, the snow on the ground. He could have slipped up easily, but he was so quick. The second he gained possession of that ball, created a ton of separation, got a shot, and made the keeper really work for you. He had to corral that ball from the air. Noseworthy almost snapped it out of the air from the keeper. Now Cleveland State is on the attack.
Right here, they're on the right wing. Passing it back to the midway line. Massey has it, manning up. Interesting, they're switching back to a man defense, the Wolverines are. Back behind the cage, the Vikings.
Yeah, they struggled with the man earlier, allowed 2 easy goals for Cleveland State by letting men open. But they're back to the man. We'll see how that works out for them.
Behind the cage. Just passing it around in a circle here, all around the field right now. Trying to pick their poison here. Wolverines doing a great job. Now they have a short stick on a short stick, see if they attack it. Another short stick on a short stick here. Looks like they're going to dodge. It's McKee on defense. Does a great job of pushing him behind the cage. Vikings still passing it around. Interesting to see when a shot clock will be employed here. Not really looking like they're going for any offense. Oh, and an easy pass there. But a great play by number 9, Nick DiCaprio, to hit that away, get the turnover. Something that the Wolverines, again, I said earlier, struggle with, but they're doing a great job this game. They have 7 already.
Cleveland State was set up for the wide-angle shot, but it was an open wide-angle shot. Could have put one into the back of the cage there, but Nick DiCaprio with a heads-up play, quickly knocking the ball out of the attacker's stick, and now Michigan has possession.
Chase Young brings it into the attack, and Kevin Mack looking for the pass behind the cage. Passes to Buckenbridge. Buckenbridge back to Mack. Mack looking for a pass. He's going to run past his man. Take a shot there. He's taking a couple ill-advised shots off that coming around the cage, trying to get a quick dodge in. But he just gets hit hard and then has to take an errant shot that hasn't hit any part of the goal here. But could be a turnover for the Wolverines. But no, great play by, again, that's going to be DiCaprio to hit it past the midway line and into the stick of Noseworthy. And now number 19, B.J. Mathis getting some playing time for the Wolverines from my home state of Maryland. Great player from Gonzaga High School. Let's see here. Sutherland puts it in. Avery Myers, great pass there by Sutherland, who pats himself on the chest there, and he deserved that. That was his goal. He passed it straight to Avery Myers right in front of the goal. Easy shot there. 6-2 Wolverines, 8:17 left in the second half.
Great shot there by Myers. He really held the ball for the majority of that possession, was able to find a way to get himself open and then take a great shot. He's not from Maryland, but he may as well be from Alexandria, Virginia. He's a sophomore, so didn't come over with Coach Kevin Connery, but that Maryland to Michigan lacrosse pipeline really opening up. And maybe you started it, Alex, moving over from Maryland to Michigan yourself, being a huge lacrosse guy. As Michigan opens up this game, 6-2 lead for the Wolverines. This lead is beginning to become unsurmountable here for the Cleveland State Vikings. They're going to have to get on the board if they want to be back in this one.
Never want to say insurmountable, but still early in this second quarter there. A great win by the Vikings. Tesler running straight down Broadway. No one stops him, but a great save there by Trowbridge. No one stopping him on defense, and that was an ugly first face-off there for the Wolverines. And it's a turnover for the Wolverines, but it's going to be an infraction by the Vikings, and they're going to. Rocco Sutherland has the ball now. He's going to slow it down. Very, very difficult to clear the ball here in this game. 4 for 7 for the Cleveland State Vikings and 7 for 10 for the Michigan Wolverines. So just getting it past that halfway line and getting an attack has been a tough part for both these teams. Buckenbridge is manning up number 2. He's got an advantage on a short stick here. Let's see if he takes it. He's going to run around the cage. Looks like he's trying to man him up. He gets behind him easily, but loses the ball there. And just a turnover there by Buckenbridge, but you got to love the confidence there, getting around his man, and just a great defensive possession. Counterattack now by the Vikings. Long pole in there. No one stops the ball, and just, you never want to see that. Never want to see that. A quick goal by the Vikings, just a long pole running straight down Broadway. 2 possessions in a row. First it was the face-off specialist, Tesler, and then it looks like number 9, Zach Whitnack, the sophomore from Glenna, Ohio. Never want to see an Ohio guy scoring. But, you know, just a defensive lapse there. Connery's not happy. Connery's cold and unhappy now. And he's going to yell. It looks like number 33, P.J. Boggle, did not stop his man. And you do not want to see that if you're the Wolverines. 6-3. Wolverines still have the lead here. But that's a couple bad possessions defensively. You don't want to see them step up here at the X, try to get a win.
You are right, though. This is another reinstallment of the Michigan and Ohio schools rivalry. Cleveland State obviously being from Cleveland.
Best lacrosse team in Ohio, obviously.
Well, they kept it close with Ohio State last week.
It's going to be the Wolverines' ball. After a hand misplacement there by the Tesler. Chase Young running down Broadway. Great job by the Vikings defense to deny the attempt to pass it behind the cage to Mack. It's going to be Boggle at the midfield line. Young coming out now. And Noseworthy running across. Noseworthy didn't really know what was going on there. But Mack manning up his guy. Pass it to Buckenbridge, passes to Noseworthy. Noseworthy's gone a little bit cold here in the second half. But he's running inside now. Pass it to Curran. Curran to Rocco. Rocco with the great one-footed shot there. But a little bit off, goes off the cage, and that's going to be the Wolverines' ball. That was a shot on target, though. And a slip by Mack. Makes his defender slip, but a great save there by Amon. And just a great play by Mack, but an even better defensive play. You got to put that ball up high if you're going to go there, because Amon was going down low.
And I think that last possession really showed the gravity that Brent Noseworthy has as the entire defense began to collapse on him. He got the ball to Curran, and then Rocco Sutherland was wide open because of the gravity Noseworthy commands and how he drew the attention of all the defenders.
Sam Boundary getting big minutes now as a long stick midfielder, and on this defensive possession, and another timeout for the Vikings. And the Vikings coach Sheridan is getting pumped up now, running out with his team. You got to like these effort in the past 3 minutes. 5:54 left in the second quarter. 6-3, the Wolverines are leading. And we saw the Wolverines come out and just dominate at the beginning of that second half. After the 4 turnover first 30 seconds. But what have been the keys for this Cleveland State kind of getting back in this game, turning the momentum almost in the past 3 minutes?
Well, they've been a lot better on defense recently. They've allowed Michigan to get some good looks, but the difference I think is they've been playing a lot more inspired on defense. They were letting the Wolverines just kind of set up their offense, go through their progressions, see if they can find anyone open. Now they're just kind of forcing the issue, really putting pressure on the Wolverines, and that's maybe forced some off-target shots. Meanwhile, on the offense, they got back to what they've been doing best and just get wide open right in front of the crease. I mean, all 3 goals that have been allowed here today by the Wolverines really have to be put on the hands of the defense. Matt Trowbridge has played really a solid game.
And that's not something, number 3 goalie in the country a couple years ago. He's a sophomore now. So you got to respect it, but at the same time, first game getting big minutes. Tommy Height, the usual goalie for the Wolverines, hurt right now. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. But if Trowbridge plays like this in the next couple of games, you got a couple of big games coming up the next couple of weeks against Penn and Yale. I mean, it's going to be hard to give that job back to Height.
Ooh, we may have a goalie controversy.
I know Height's a senior, and you don't want to disrespect the experience there. But at the same time, Trowbridge is playing amazing in this game, and you got to respect that.
Indeed, and I think we do have another scoreboard malfunction here. Right now they're giving Matt Trowbridge, as good as he's been, he hasn't had 19 saves in this game. There's been 19 shots. The scoreboard's a bit mixed up there, giving Cleveland State 9 shots and the Wolverines 19 saves. Once again, we're pardoning the scoreboard operator today. It's his first time working with this brand new scoreboard. That thing must have cost $1 million.
It looks great.
Yeah, great giant scoreboard here, overlooking the highway here in Ann Arbor.
And the Vikings are passing around, another errant pass there. 5:35 left in the second quarter. Vikings taking their time, picking their spot. Long stick on a short stick here. They do not have an advantage. Get it by number 4, Nick Wendell, attacking the defense now. They have an advantage on a short stick here with McNee. Passes it back up top. And then number 7 on Chase Young. Chase Young is a short stick, so we got to see an advantage here. Young with a little back check on there with a stick. Now I want to see that. Close to a penalty there. Gooning almost getting in the way of Trowbridge in that circle. And the Vikings are playing with the Wolverines here, just running behind the cage. Passes it back to the midway line. And number 4 for the Vikings is going to run almost equal to the cage on the left side. Very much picking their spot here. And they're going to give him the shot clock now. So 30 seconds to score the ball, 25 left, 4:33 left in the second quarter. And they're going to have to move their offense a little bit quicker now. Wolverines do a great job staying in front of their man. And 15 seconds left on the shot clock. And they get by him, but a great save by Trowbridge. A shot by number 47, getting Brockenbrow. That's a tongue twister, but a good shot there. Shot clock running down, but an even better save by Trowbridge. Wolverines get it past the midway line. Chase Young running back. No one stops him, and he scores it. A great shot there by Young. Something that the Wolverines just experienced a couple in the past 2 possessions is the Vikings running straight down their throat. No one stopping the ball, and Young did the same thing to them. Great experienced short stick to midfielder, and you got to love that goal for Chase Young.
Chase Young, the senior out of Philadelphia, he's been making it well known that he wants to run. Basically, every time he gets the ball in transition, been sprinting down the field. That time, Cleveland State, they just didn't cover him. He got really close to the cage there before just firing, making it a 7-3 game. He's playing excited. Maybe he's pumped up from 6 days ago. He's from Philadelphia. Don't know if he's an Eagles fan, but I can assume he's happy for his hometown, and he sure looks like he is hyped up, maybe after an Eagles Super Bowl victory.
4:02 left in the Second quarter, 7-3. The Wolverines are leading the Cleveland State Vikings. You're listening to WCBN Sports production of Michigan men's lacrosse. First game of the season for the Wolverines. And McConnell gets another victory. No one stopping the ball there. And he passes it back to Trowbridge. And great win there by McDonald, completely uncontested, and that's what you want to see for the Wolverines. Very high save percentage today by Trowbridge, 57%. I mean, he's playing like that. He's going to be goalkeeper of the year, not only in the Big Ten but in the country.
Absolutely. I think we might have a goalie controversy on our hands, but as the scoreboard we give him credit, it's 19 saves, 10 shots currently on the scoreboard. That's an 190% save percentage right now.
And a miscue by the midfield there. Derek Curran, Avery Myers going to get the offsides call there. And the Wolverines have played a little sloppy today. They do got the lead, and then just a defensive malfunction there. Two players fell over themselves. Fans wanting a moving screen there, but they're not going to get one. An errant shot there by number 7, Derek Radke. Wasn't anywhere close to the cage, but they're going to give him a shot attempt on that. I'm not sure what they saw there, and a timeout for the Wolverines here.
You have 3:08 to go, 7-3 lead for the Wolverines. Looking pretty comfortable. They've really dominated the second quarter. They've expanded the shots lead to a 26-19 lead for the Wolverines. If they can keep up this style of play, they're not going to be in danger of losing this one. 3:08 to go. What do you think the Cleveland State Vikings have to do here before halftime to ease this deficit and maybe have better chances going into the second half?
It's going to start at the X. You gotta get a win here. Hopefully run it up, get a quick goal, come back to the X, set up a possession. If you can cut it to 7-5 going into the halftime, you have a great chance in the second half. Getting one goal in these next 3 minutes is a must for the Vikings. Got to get the momentum on their side. Right now, it's 50-50. No one really dominating right now. But if you're the Vikings, you need to get a little bit of momentum on your side. They just had a big check there by one of their players on a screen that got the fans a little riled up for the Wolverines. But they need a little energy themselves, especially this attacking. I'd like to see them run a little pick and roll behind the cage. Trying to get Massey one-on-one. He's looked really agile, really great today, and you hope to see him going one-on-one against someone. He's a big body, someone who can body his man, and he's agile as well, so you'd like to see him going one-on-one against some of these bigger Michigan defenders. But I know you're talking about earlier Cleveland State looked a little inevitable. They could get back in this game. I think they definitely have a chance. They just got to play a little bit better moving along in this second quarter as the ball is handed to number 11, Michael Wilson, and they're waiting for the scoreboard operator, and they're going to blow the whistle. 3:08 left in the second quarter. Passing it to the M. And it's getting a little nippy up here in the booth. We got an open garage door right next to us. Number 42 running in behind the cage, slips himself. Shoes for both teams almost have no traction here. Number 11 passing number 42, Vikings passing along the midway line.
Not much doing there for Cleveland State. Turn it over, and as you mentioned, shoes losing traction. I think everyone is wearing white sneakers today and white socks as well, so you can kind of lose a sense of where players' feet are today. But
Sutherland has the ball now. After that shot attempt, Michigan has and looks like Buckenvidge just lost it there. And they're both, him and Mack are just ripping at the ball, at the defender's stick there after the turnover by Buckenvidge. And that's going to get the ball to Boggle, and Michigan got another turnover there. Some sloppy play by both teams here, but a great play by Buckenvidge after losing the ball, a little bit of a miscue on offense. He comes back, and he just ripping the other player's stick out of his hand almost. And just a great play to get that ball back for his team.
Indeed, Buckenvidge was on a mission there to regain possession. It's paid off. Wolverines now taking it slow here.
Mack and Boggle with two players behind the cage. You never want to see that. Not a great play there, but Buckenvidge going back there to Mack. Mack to Sutherland. Cleveland State trying to deny the ball to Sutherland. Sutherland gets inside. No one stopping him there. Going to go right to right outside the restricted area. An easy shot, easy goal for the Wolverines and Rocco Sutherland. Unassisted goal there. You got to love that play there, just slicing through the defense. Great play by the Wolverines. 7-3, 126 left in this first half.
Not sure what happened there with the Cleveland State defense. I guess they just all assumed that their man would be able to handle Sutherland. That was not the case. He had a bad angle, but no one came into the crease to try to defend him, so he was able to just move toward the perfect perpendicular shot onto the goal. Easy score there. 8-3 Wolverines. A minute 26 to go in the second quarter. And
that momentum looks like it's going to go with the Wolverines ending his half. Let's see if they can get another goal here, try to put this one away going to halftime. 9-3 looks a little more insurmountable than an 8-3 lead. And McDonald gets the ball away from Tesler. Still a ground ball there as Myers falls on top of it. But the Vikings are going to retain possession. A long stick running up, running straight down Broadway. No one stopping him there. And a pass inside. A great check there by number 13, MJ Malio. Pushes him away from the ball. Great save by Trowbridge off a shot. And Trowbridge is going to get the ground ball. 1 minute left in this first half. A great defensive possession there by the Wolverines. All across the board. You can't play it any better than that. And now Myers going past the halfway line. Myers slicing the defense. He's going to slow it down with 43 seconds left. Wolverines can hold for the last shot of the half here. Let's see what they do. Never want to pass up an easy look, though, and they're always going to be looking to attack. Buckenvidge on the far left side of the field. Does a little bit of a dodge spin move there. Passes it to number 19. B.J. Mathias. B.J. Mathias manning up, running behind the cage. Going to pass it to Mack. Mack looks to be their man behind the cage this year, acting in that Matt Rambo at Maryland side of look. Does a nice little spin move. Head of that offense there. Gets doubled. Doesn't really know what to do there. Keeps possession of the ball, which is great.
4 to go.
2-1. A shot by Buckenvidge. Great save there by Armand. Not really what you're looking for on that last possession there. Didn't really have a plan there. But going into halftime, Michigan's winning 8-3. Shots 27-12 for the Wolverines. 28 when they updated on the scoreboard. And that's not what you want to see if you're Cleveland State. That's not a recipe to win. And with this 10-minute halftime, what do you think the Wolverines can do to put this away, and what do you think that Cleveland State can do to get back in this game?
The Wolverines, they're not going to allow Cleveland State 8 goals unless they keep on letting people wide open in front of the crease. With the way Matt Trowbridge has played so far today, it's made it very easy for the Wolverine defense. If they had played maybe a better game, then this might be maybe a shutout even perhaps at halftime, or just a 1 or 2 goal game for the Cleveland State Vikings. However, they've let a few times now, they've let some of them wide open in front of the crease, causing an easy Cleveland State goal. They're going to have to cut that out and make sure that doesn't happen. If they do that, then this 5-goal lead should be more or less unrecoverable for the Cleveland State Vikings.
You're 100% right. Something we didn't see from last year, as the Wolverines did give up 11 goals a game last year, 11.57 goals per game, and that's one of the large reasons that Michigan has a new coach this year, Connery coming from Maryland. Excuse me. Great defensive coach. He was the defensive coordinator essentially for the Terrapins, and manufactured great defenses year in, year out. And is one of the reasons Maryland won the national championship last year. And you're seeing some of his ideals come to this Michigan Wolverines offense. It's conservative, not really laid back. It's still aggressive to a point, but it's not very attacking of a defense. You're not seeing them overplay screens. You're not seeing them overplay dodges. And you're seeing them just pick their spots and stay in front of their man. And you're seeing this on the scoreboard with only 3 goals given up to the Cleveland State Vikings. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to be back in about 6 minutes. Stay with us at WCBN. We are in between softball broadcasts today, as the Michigan Wolverines women's softball team is in Florida. I wish we were there too for the warm weather. They played Florida earlier, and they have another game at 3:45, so you can check in on this same site at around 3:45 to catch that game. We'll be back in 6 minutes with the second half of this game. Welcome back to the Michigan Wolverines' new stadium. I'm here with Daniel Thompson. I'm Alex Kramer. Forgot to introduce yourselves at the beginning. But we're here for the Michigan Wolverines men's lacrosse game today, playing the Cleveland State Vikings. We have an 8-3 lead for the Wolverines right now with 1 minute left in this halftime period. And looking over stats over the past 10 minutes, what's the biggest takeaway you've taken from this first half and the reason that the Wolverines are winning right now?
I think it has to be Buckinvich's performance so far today. He's really been fantastic. He certainly hasn't had his name called more than just about anyone else. Alex Buckinvich has had a fantastic game. He does have 5 shots and 4 points. So that's a great effectiveness right there. Assisting a couple times, scoring a couple times. Fantastic game for him. Big reason why the Wolverines lead 8-3. But I think also a good takeaway is that the Wolverines, even without his performance, they'd still be winning by 1.
Yeah, you gotta love the performance from the freshman, and I've also been very impressed by Mac. You know, you haven't seen him finishing on a lot of these shots. He's taking the most shots on the team so far with 6. But you know, he's tied with Rocco Sutherland, excuse me. But you gotta love his confidence coming out here. He's really been the quarterback of this offense. You know, playing right behind the cage, and that's usually something you entrust to someone of an upperclassman, but he's running this offense right now, and he's doing a great job finding men and finding people on the outside for easy goals. And he needs to be credited a little bit here. Doesn't have any points today, but he's a big part of this Michigan lead right now.
Certainly it's a young program for the Wolverines, only beginning their 7th season here today, and they've had a lot of youth right now making big contributions. You can really see how they've grown. Their recruiting is spread all over the country and even into Canada with one of their better players, Brett Noseworthy from Ontario. They've got a lot of talent from all over, and it's showing here. The recruiting's been fantastic. They have a lot of freshmen who can come in and have a huge impact for this team. Kevin Mack being from Manhasset, New York.
And
really a great showing here from the younger guys. We're right about to start.
And at the X, the ref blows the whistle, and McDonald puts it under his feet, and the Vikings get it right down Broadway. And a quick goal by the Vikings. That's going to be from a long pole to the second long pole score of the game for the Vikings. Is going to make it 8-4, 8 seconds into the second half. Let's see who that's accredited to. It looks like it is. He's running away, away from us right now, but. Looks like number 9, Zach Whiteneck for his second goal of the game, and a great play finding the ball off of the face-off, and a great job of just getting that ball running straight down the middle. And a long pole goal is something to always celebrate, and 2 of them today for the Wolverines.
And not only a long pole goal, but a long pole goal coming 8 seconds in. Cleveland State wins the face-off. They could do it again. Let's see. Now they're going to hold up. Not going to have back-to-back 8-second goals here.
2 face-off wins. 2 wins at the X for Tesler, coming back and taking the lead in this battle with McDonald. And that's something we were talking about earlier in the game, and a struggle for the Wolverines. It's going to be interesting to see how long Connery sticks with his guy McDonald before he throws in one of the freshmen like Cronin. The Vikings are throwing the ball around the snowy part of the field as just the center of the field was really zambonied off during halftime. It looks like there's about an inch on the field on both the left and right sides. And the Vikings are being very methodical about this offensive possession, choosing to pick their spots. Number 4 is attacking the offense right now. Great play by number 9 for the Wolverines this time, and that is Nick DiCaprio. Another turnover for him. Getting the ball here, Chase Young running upfield right now, and he gets the ball into the possession for the Wolverines, and he's going to pass it to Mack on the left side of the field. And the Wolverines are going to start possession. 13:47 left in the second quarter. Or it's third quarter, excuse me. 8-4, the Wolverines are leading.
Certainly, Michigan wants to get off to a better start for this third quarter. Really an ugly goal to give up, allowing something that quick. But now they have possession. They've really dominated time of possession, and if Cleveland State wants to get into this game and continue a time of possession similar to what we've had so far today, they are going to have to score in about 8 seconds, given how little they've possessed the ball. Wolverines now holding on to it.
And it is Mack and Sutherland behind the goal right now. Pass it to Boggle. Boggle got the good chunk of those minutes that's left by J.M. Pretty as he's out with an injury right now. Boggle passes to Mack behind the cage. A pick set by Boggle. Mack doesn't want to use it. Curran has the ball up front. Passes it back to Sutherland. Sutherland with a short stick on him. Is he going to attack it? No, he won't. Passes it to Curran. Curran right at the midway line, right in front of the goal. Passes it to Boggle. Boggle to Noseworthy. Noseworthy's going to man up, take a shot. Bottom left corner. Falls right in. A great shot by Noseworthy. One-on-one. Best player for Michigan getting the best goal for Michigan. 9-4. Wolverines lead 12:40 left in the game, or in the third quarter. A great possession there by the Wolverines. Be methodical, picking their spots, getting a short stick on a short stick, and a great goal by Brett Noseworthy to finish it off.
Brett Noseworthy has put on a footwork clinic here today. Really great pumping action with his feet. Makes a great dodge to create some open space. He's been stepping in to create shots. Really just knows how to use his entire body to not only create space, but then take advantage of the space he creates and create forceful shots. It's been a nightmare for Cleveland State to defend.
And this 1-2 punch of Buckenvidge and Brett Noseworthy looks like it could be one of the most potent in the Big Ten, rivaling LeClaire and Jasinski at Ohio State. And the ball is going to stay with the Wolverines after that face-off win, and a great job of the Wolverines after 2 losses finally getting one to go in their favor, and that's going to tie it up 8-8 at the X for the Wolverines. And let's see what Avery Myers is going to do here. He's going to run straight up to the midfield. Pass it behind the cage. Rocco Sutherland to the left. Passing it to Matthias. Matthias backing him down. Still on the left side. He gets doubled. It's going to be a switch.
Balls with Noseworthy. Cleveland, even though he's far from the cage, Cleveland State has to look out.
Here's Buckenvidge. Buckenvidge with the most turnovers on the team today with 2. Passes it back to Myers. Myers Noseworthy has a shot, and that's just a rip. You gave him a chance to step into a shot, and as we said before, that's going in. A great shot by the junior for the Wolverines, first junior captain of the program history, and a great shot by him. Top left corner. That's going to be his 4th goal of the game so far, and he's putting on a clinic right now. And I believe that assist did come from Buckenvidge, so that's going to be his 5th point of the game.
And he's coming out right now. He has to cool down a bit after that. He's been on fire over the past minute and a half. He was able to take an underhanded shot there. They gave him so much space. You really cannot do that. 10-4 in the blink of an eye.
Second line midfield in now for the Wolverines. Number 8, Hunter Basco. And McDonald wins the face-off anyway. And the rest of that second line midfield is going to be number 31, Sam Boundary, who's playing long stick midfield for the Wolverines. Trowbridge with the ball now.
MJ Malillo just came out, and Brett Noseworthy is back into the game. Was out for maybe 5 seconds in total.
Yeah, your best player is not going to come off the field too many times, especially in a cold game like this where the tides can turn very quickly. And Max, who's played the entire game for the Wolverines, behind the cage again. 6 shots for the young freshman. No goals so far, no assists. And a great job facilitating the offense for the Wolverines. Matthias getting a long run with the first team offense right now. He's going to run behind the cage. Max going to leave that spot for the first time in a while, and then return to it immediately as Matthias leaves it behind the cage area. And that's Buckenvidge backing down his guy. Uses the Vikings player as a pick for himself. And passes it to Buckenvidge. Buckenvidge has no one on him, and he's not going to take a shot. He was in an awkward angle there, and when he does, it was just an awkward possession there. He takes a shot that does not hit target, and Kevin Mack is going to get the ball there behind the cage again. Passes it to Brett Noseworthy. Noseworthy, the 6'4" large midfielder, is just a behemoth down there, and when he backs someone down, it's hard to keep your feet planted and not just back down with him, essentially. Matthias to Rocco Sutherland. Rocco Sutherland moving back behind the cage where no one is right now. See if he can use that kind of as a pick here. Trip the Viking player up. He can't. And he passes it to Alex Buckenvidge. Buckenvidge from Connecticut. Backing his guy down, gets by him. And a great save there by Amon. Buckinvich got by his man. Quick wrister straight at the goalie. And that is going to be a save by Amon. And the Vikings are going to counterattack right now. Throw the ball away. And they're going to get it back, though. Tough play in the snow as number 2 for the Vikings, Jared Stepka, slipped a little bit but retains possession for the Vikings.
Indeed, we have that Zamboni'd. Well, really more of a makeshift snowplow, but it was the lacrosse version of a Zamboni. That about 20-yard stretch in the middle of the field is clear, but if you lose the ball, it's going to be a real nightmare to corral it in that about inch of snow as the snow continues to pile down here in Ann Arbor.
9 minutes left in this third quarter, 10-4 Wolverines lead. Vikings behind the cage. Using a little pick and roll action there. Great save by Trowbridge. That's a Massey shot there. We were mentioning at halftime how we thought Massey should get some more shots, but he misses that one, an awkward angle there. And that's a great save for Trowbridge. Some not great passing by MJ Malio, but he's able to corral it and get it to Boggle, who runs past the halfway line. And someone does stop him as he's not able to run straight to the goal. And it's a Mack again behind the goal. Mack slipping a little bit on the snow.
Noseworthy comes in and receives the pass immediately.
He's the focal point of this offense, and we're going to see him and Buckinvich touching the ball nearly every play. Noseworthy again gets the ball. Just above the halfway line, right in front of the goal. Pass it to Buckinvich. Buckinvich has a long pole on him. Trying to switch to a short pole, but can't. Sutherland to Buckinvich. Or, excuse me, Sutherland to Curran. To Boggle. To Noseworthy. Inside to Boggle. Quick shot by Boggle that hit the post. And that's going to be Michigan ball. Kevin Mack gets there first. 7:35 left in this third quarter. Good shot there by Boggle. Good screen by Sutherland. But Curran chooses not to pass him the ball. And Noseworthy now has a long pull on him. He's going to take him, though. He's got about 4 inches there. A bad pass there by Noseworthy. And that's going to be a turnover as that ball rolls out of bounds. And it's going to be the Vikings ball now.
7:08 to go in the third quarter. We're now halfway through this quarter, over that a bit. Cleveland State is going to have to score quickly to get into this, and right now they're kind of stuck at midfield.
Number 0 running straight through the Michigan offense. No one stops him. Michigan reeling on defense right now. They get back in their set. And now Chase Young is able to come up and step forward in defense for the Wolverines. 3 short sticks, actually. It's a disadvantage for the Wolverines. Number 50 McNee's in there as one of the short sticks. Someone behind the cage. Passes to the front. To number 1, Massey. Massey gets a step on Young. Doesn't take a shot, loses the ball.
Wow, did MJ Malio ever quickly close in on that one?
Number 9, Nick DiCaprio getting that ground ball. Something Michigan struggled, just like turnovers last year, is to getting ground balls last in the Big Ten. And they need to do a better job there. Nick DiCaprio is a big part of that, switching from that long stick midfielder role to become more of a defender now. And on this starting defensive unit, doing a great job getting those ground balls and closing on most of these Viking offenders right now. 5:48 left in the third quarter. Mack behind the cage looks to attack. Dodges one player. Pass it to Matthias to Curran. Matthias. Excuse me, that's Noseworthy. To Mack. Not Matthias. That's Rocco Sutherland. I'm getting all confused with these white-on-white jerseys.
Michigan playing it slowly now. They can take their time. 5 to go. I don't think they've drawn a shot clock to start it all so far today.
The refs has been very forgiving for both the Wolverines and Vikings. The Vikings only have 1, but both teams have taken quick shots. Avery Myers gets by his man. There's the shot clock given right now. Sutherland had an easy shot there and just dropped the ball. It's a flag. man up for the Wolverines here. They have an easy possession here. Don't need to worry about losing it. And Noseworthy, a fantastic find by Buckenvidge. Noseworthy fakes high, went low. A fantastic shot by the junior midfielder. 11-4 Wolverines, 4:48 to go in the third quarter, and you're not going to see a better offensive possession there, playing without fear, knowing the flag was coming.
That was simply fantastic there by Noseworthy. I believe that's a backhanded skip into the net. Really a fantastic play right there. He's been on fire, scoring all 3 Wolverine goals this quarter.
And it looks like Noseworthy is going to relieve Mack right now and play a little bit of attacking here, a role we saw him in all of last year and something he's most comfortable in. That's number 5 for Noseworthy on the season, number 5 today for him. And that's this has been one of the great offensive performances I've seen by a player in a long time. You usually don't see anybody score 5 goals in lacrosse in a game. And Noseworthy is just dominating this defense right now. The McDonald gets an easy victory at the X. Great job.
And now that Noseworthy's in an attack, maybe Kevin Connery just wants him to be the lead scorer of the nation, at least for a week here. He's going to be in attack. I don't know how. Let's see how many goals he can get now that he's playing attack here.
It's going to be interesting to see how long he plays. As Mack hasn't hit the goal, hasn't hit any of his 6 shots have not hit the goal yet. So it's going to be interesting to see if Connery's benching him to try to motivate him a little bit here. But Matthias is going to be a bigger player in this offense now, as is Rocco Sutherland. It looks like he's going to take Mack's spot behind that defense. Noseworthy behind the cage now. To Boggle. Boggle to Buckenvidge. Buckenvidge to Curran. Curran to Myers. Sutherland back to Myers. Myers right side, right in front of the goal. Back up top to Curran. Curran to Myers. Myers. Oh, he made a man fall. And a fantastic play by Myers, passing the ball up top, almost like a 3-man weave in basketball, just lulling the defense to sleep. Fakes a pass, skips right by a defender, easy shot, top right corner. That's going to make it 12-4 Michigan, and it just looks like the Cleveland State Vikings just have no life, no energy on defense now.
Welcome to the Michigan Offensive Clinic. This has just been a great display here in the third quarter. All 4 goals being really beautiful goals with either a great move, great footwork, great passing, something just to create an opportunity where you know the second the ball leaves the stick, it's going to be a goal.
And a fantastic output here by Michigan. Looks like some of the fans are almost filing out now. The score 12-4. The game looks to be in hand and not wanting to handle the cold weather anymore. A great offensive output, something we really haven't seen in a while. And this is going to be an extended break here as Cleveland State is going to take a timeout here, their 4th of the game.
Indeed, Cleveland State has to recover right now. I mean, really they have no answers for this kind of offense by the Wolverines. And right now, as this game begins to get a bit out of hand, fans are beginning to no longer want to brave the cold. Michigan has to be looking at that score from last week for Cleveland State, where they lost to Ohio State by 13-6. The Wolverines would love to get a victory over Ohio State, get their first in-conference win in 2 seasons. If they could do that against Ohio State, that'd be a huge victory. Of course, these early season games, a lot can change, and margin of victory over one team does not guarantee the result the next week. But Michigan leads by 8. Ohio State only won by 7. An encouraging sign for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and Ohio State and Rutgers really the only 2 chances that Michigan really has for victories in this deep Big Ten slate. Maryland looks to be defending its national championship from last year, and they bring back a very talented roster as John Hopkins brings everyone back. Penn State was a deep team last year, who's bringing back most of their players.
And they had an alum in the Super Bowl, Chris Hogan. He announced himself as Penn State Lacrosse.
Exactly. And the Vikings win that face-off. Come a little energy here. The face-off man, Tessler, is running with the offense in this play. It's interesting to see if he's going to sub out here quickly. And he's not. He's going to stay in for a little bit. Ball behind the cage. And Tessler's going to run this offense right here. Sending screen. Going to be interesting to see how long he's going to. And now he's going to check out. But a great possession there by Tessler, winning that faceoff and running with the offense for a little bit. Love to see your faceoff specialist getting a little run in there, playing a little longer than he has to.
And for Cleveland State, it's just good for them to see the ball in their sticks for this amount of time, because I don't think they've had a possession this long, maybe all quarter.
Yeah.
And there's 3 minutes to go.
They haven't scored since the what, 8 seconds left in that, and or 8 seconds gone in the third quarter, and a turnover there by the Vikings. It's going to give the ball to the Wolverines. Boggle bringing it up, passes to Buckenvidge. Buckenvidge back to back to Mack, who's back in the game. It looks like Mack was just getting a little bit of a breather. Mack's behind the cage. Passes to Boggle. Boggle passes up a shot for Noseworthy. And Noseworthy misses the cage altogether, and that's going to be Wolverine ball as Mack picks it up from the out-of-bounds area. Passes to Sutherland on the left side. Sutherland back to Boggle. Boggle's running at the top of in the midfield. Right up by the M. He's going to attack now. Has a step on his defender. Alex Buckenvidge passes it to Sutherland. Sutherland's right inside. Makes a man miss, but misses the cage with that shot.
Once again, I don't think a single out-of-bounds play has gone to Cleveland State. I think Michigan's always been closer and earned the ball.
Kevin Mack running inside. Looks like a little afraid to take the shot. Pass it to Derek Kern. Derek Kern inside. And again, Alex Buckenvidge is back this time to get the ball. Looks like a staple in Kevin Connery's offense is going to be having someone behind the cage to clean up on these out-of-bound plays. It's something we've seen all day today, and he's won that stat by more than 20 at this point. A fantastic goal there. Alex Buckenvidge, something you only practice in practice. He excuse me. He backs his man down over the back, right-handed shot, straight towards the right-hand corner. And that's a fantastic goal, his third of the game, 6th point of the game, and we're seeing a fantastic two-man show here. Probably the start of a great attacker lineup here, even though Noseworthy is in the midfield. And we have two 6-point outputs today, Alex Buckenvidge and Brett Noseworthy, and that was a fantastic goal for the Wolverines, 13-4 with 1:58 left in the third quarter.
If SportsCenter Top 10 is looking for material, right there might be one to go to. Fantastic goal. I hope that gets picked up somewhere on national TV.
McDonald with a fantastic win there. He started to move away with these wins. That's 11-9 now. Like to see him winning these face-offs here. And now Myers is running the ball up. He's at the far right side in the midfield now. Passes it off to number 10. Sean McAnna is the second line midfield. Is going to get a run here. Back to Noseworthy. Noseworthy, Mack, and Buckenvidge have played this whole game.
Indeed, every time Noseworthy goes out, he comes back in for after about 5 seconds on the bench. He's really been involved this whole day.
There's Noseworthy again. Great save there by Amon this time. He's at a cold stretch here, but that was a great save here. And looks like Alex Buckenvidge almost gets the turnover for the Wolverines, as he turned it over himself and then got it back. But the Vikings counterattack there, missed the cage altogether there. Looked like that was number 7 for the Vikings, Derek Radke with the shot. Gotta like the aggression there, moving quickly, as they haven't had the ball very much today, as you've brought up several times. 45 seconds left in this quarter. 13-4, Wolverines lead.
Indeed, this third quarter started off perfectly for Cleveland State, scoring 8 seconds in, and they've had the ball for maybe 2 whole minutes of offense ever since then. Really has gone downhill quickly here for Cleveland State. They have a chance to make some amends and salvage 2 points here in the fourth quarter. They have 24 seconds to do so, though.
20 seconds now. They got a man on a short stick in McNee. Let's see if they attack it. Now they have another guy, Chase Young, 2 short sticks. Let's see if they're attacking him. They choose not to on either side. Great defense by McNee here, keeping his man in front of him. Passes out to Young, who plays equally great defense, keeping him in front. 1. Great save by Trowbridge. That was not hitting anywhere near the cage. Great finish to the third quarter. Great defensive possession there, especially by Chase Young. And McNee, number 50, Parker McNee. Great short stick midfielders playing important defense, and that's something that you can't overstate if you want to have a good defensive team. And a fantastic quarter by the Wolverines, their highest scoring quarter of the game, 13-4 leading at this point. And I maybe you're a little bit more optimistic than I am. Do you see any way that Cleveland State gets back in this game without the time of possession coming back on their side?
No, they're going to have to keep on scoring in 8 seconds if they want to, because they're down 9. They probably possess the ball for about 4 minutes on average a quarter. At least that's what it feels like after that third quarter. I don't know how they can score 9 if they're not going to possess the ball for more than at least 4.5 minutes. Really, at this point, I think Cleveland State needs to just see what run plays that they like, see what they have going forward. It's a bit of a mismatch. Cleveland State playing into Big Ten competition, and Michigan right now. I know they had a good preseason last year and struggled a lot. Didn't win a single game in the Big Ten last year, or haven't won a Big Ten game in over a year. But right now they're looking good going into into Big Ten play, which isn't for a while here. They have a game this Tuesday
against Bellarmine.
Yeah, against Bellarmine. They look to do well in that one. They had a good preseason last year. They really want to get a Big Ten win, though, as we've been saying. Really, Big Ten is the powerhouse conference here in lacrosse. Michigan doesn't want to be perhaps the Vanderbilt of Big Ten lacrosse. They can maybe climb out of the basement this season. It's been a really good offensive showing so far today.
It's going to be hard to be at the upper echelon of the conference, but being competitive in every game is something that they can expect, and something we saw from Rutgers last year. You know, Rutgers is not known as a great lacrosse school. They weren't when they were in the Big East, but you know, it's a team that was competitive a lot, and they were ranked #1 in the country because of that, and they weren't a particularly good team. So it's going to be interesting to see how Michigan match up in the Big Ten Conference, and if they can indeed move up away from that upper echelon. And number 5, Tesler wins the faceoff easily, runs straight down Broadway, and takes a shot that is no good. But the Vikings are first to the ball this time, and they will either keep the possession.
That might be the first out-of-bounds play won by the Vikings here today, and that's going to be key if they want to possess the ball for a more reasonable percentage of the time here in the fourth and final quarter.
Radke has the ball now. 30 seconds gone in the quarter. And Radke takes a shot straight into Trowborough's stick. And Trowborough has looked amazing today. Just fantastic. That's not Trowborough. Excuse me. Trowborough has been taken out of the game. And it's Gunnar Garn in the game now. We got a California guy playing in this frigid weather. Interesting to see making a change, as also Cleveland State will, as number 10, Steven Russo from Livingston, New Jersey, will take the cage now. So 2 new goalies now. See how they can both match up. But that was a great save by one of the best names in lacrosse here, Gunnar Garn.
Indeed, Gunnar Garn showing how deep the Wolverines are at keeper. They might have 3 fantastic keepers from the looks here today.
And it looks like, for the most part, we're done with the Wolverine starters at this point. So it's going to get a little bit harder for us to name some names, but bear with us. Right now in our Hank Adams and Brandon Schimma on the offensive end. 21 Noah Fosse is playing attacking as well. Looks like the defense, MJ Malio, so this is the second team defense right now. Number 18, Ben Parrish, is going to check in as well. So we got a lot of freshmen, some younger guys rotating in for the Wolverines. And a defensive miscue there by number 18, Ben Parrish, who just checked into the game. A hard check on number 47 for the Vikings. He overstepped a play, overplayed a pick, and then just came back and crushed number 47 after that shot. And I feel sorry for him. He's going to feel that one tomorrow.
Indeed, Wolverines not laying off the energy at all here today, despite the fact this game's a bit out of hand, very cold, 22 degrees for the opening faceoff. I don't know what the temperature is now, but it feels about the same.
Yeah, Curtis Alexander also checking in for the Wolverines on defense. Some of the names you haven't heard yet. Most of these guys are sophomores and freshmen, and this is the kind of the depth of Connery's unit. Some of these are mostly not his guys, but they can still play, and it's going to be interesting to see how they advance and they get a little experience in this second half. Defense struggling a little bit here. Looks a little bit step slow right now. Maybe it's because they're ahead by so much, but you want to see them keep that intensity. And you have an advantage here on a short stick. Hunter Basco in the game. Great defensive play there by Basco, getting a piece of that ball, but the Vikings will retain possession. And Massey is still in the game for the Vikings. The Vikings keeping all their first team players in there, see how they match up against the Wolverines. Going around the cage. Radke cuts inside. One-on-one here. Radke doesn't take a shot, throws it out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover for Cleveland State. A solid defensive possession there, denying them to get inside and look for a lane right outside the crease. And instead, they just shut them out. And, you know, we're seeing a little bit of sloppy play here, clearing the ball right now, just getting it past the halfway line. Still haven't done it. Number 20, Harry Boggle. Looks like it might be P.J. Boggle's brother in the game right now for the Wolverines.
Ball kind of stuck here at midfield. They're having trouble corralling it, but finally we're seeing Alex Calkins get by the defense and now bring the ball into the Michigan attacking zone.
And it
really a slow offense here for the Wolverines.
24, Ryan Pryor is also in the game now from nearby Birmingham, Michigan. Played at Detroit Country Day.
Turnover by the Wolverines.
Some sloppy play here with 10:37 left in this game. 13-4 of the Wolverines. And let's see if they can get a stop here. Great active stick work there by number 38, Tillman Gallagher there. And some sloppy defense allowing a pass straight inside. And Gunner can't do anything about that one. And that's going to be a goal for the Vikings. Looks like it's going to be for number 16, I believe. Jake Higgins.
And yeah, Gunnar Garn, he did get the save there at first, but the ball ricocheted off of his shin, it looked like, and was easily scooped and scored by Cleveland State. Can't really do much about that after he made the initial save. We saw some great stick saves preventing any kind of rebound earlier from Matt Trowbridge, but hard one there. His defense kind of collapsed again, as we saw a few times in the first half. Nonetheless, only 5 goals allowed by the Wolverines. Overall, still a pretty good defensive showing, but Cleveland State has not possessed the ball much today.
McDonald with a clear win on that play. And running straight back towards his defense, passes to Gunner. And the Wolverines get a good face-off win there to bring their lead to 2 in that category. As the long sticks are sliding around here, trying to get the ball half past half line. And because of some of that smooth footwork, he makes a man fall and then promptly throws the ball out of bounds. So some very sloppy play here by the Wolverines right now. 10 minutes left in this game, 13-5, Wolverines lead. The shot differential right now is 21-40 for the Wolverines. Great save by Garn off of a shot from Jared Stepka. Stepka looks like he's a little bit hurt there. He got hit pretty hard by number 8, Hunter Basco, on that play. Some solid defense by the Wolverines, but the Vikings will retain possession. 27 going Basco now. Basco, the short stick defender, just gets bullied there, and that's going to be a foul. That's going to be a foul on the Wolverines. This looks like it's going to be a slashing call.
And it's going to be, it looks like for the Wolverines, number 8, Hunter, Batesco is going to come out.
Let's see the official call here. Should be a slash.
The freshman from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, is going to have to take some time out here. Will be a one-man advantage for Cleveland State. They're being outshot 40-27. This will be an opportunity for them to climb back into this one a little bit. Not really any danger of them coming back, but nonetheless, they're going to win for their points.
That's going to be a 30-second foul on Bateska for pushing. That's going to be a 9:16 left in the first quarter. Let's see. This is the second man up that the Vikings have had. Let's see if they can take advantage of this one. The first one coming to no avail on a 60-cent play. Vikings passing around the cage. 6 seconds left on this man up. And they're going to take a shot here as it looks like number 32, Curtis Alexander, just slipped on the snow. Can't fault him for that, but the Wolverines are back at full strength with 8:53 left to go in this last quarter of play.
And Cleveland State's Nick Wendell, he had some space to step into his shot, ends up rifling it a bit high over the crossbar.
Looks like he was a little surprised that he was that wide open.
I'd have to agree there.
Number 42 sidesteps Batesko. Let's see if Batesko can avoid getting a foul here. Never want to see a foul when you're on the second unit. Usually restricts playing time, especially in a John Tillman-esque system that Comrie runs, and it's another foul for the Wolverines.
Great stick save there from Gunnar
A
Garn.
shot for the Vikings flies overhead, and let's see what the call is here. It's going to be a slash this time on number 20, Harry Boggle. And he clearly got the back of number 42, Sherwin Gertzen for the Vikings. And you never want to see that dangerous play from the Wolverines, and that's going to get him 30 seconds in the box.
On the scoreboard, they have 1 minute up on the.
Oh, excuse me. It's going to be a 60-second slash. That is my fault. And
can't blame you too much, though. The scoreboard's had 2 errors itself.
And the Vikings get a wide open shot off of a miscommunication there from number 5 and number 32, Curtis Alexander.
Nick Wendell for the Vikings gets wide open once again, has room to step into his shot, and once again sails it over the crossbar.
And the freshman Ben Sorella is getting some time here, the number 62 player in the top 100 for recruiting rankings for lacrosse last year. Getting some run here with his two fellow highly touted freshmen in Buckenridge and Mack, who got time earlier. And a shot attempt that Gunner saves. It's going to be waved off anyway. They're going to call offsides there on that play for the Vikings, so the Wolverines take possession now.
Penalty still going on, but Wolverines will be up to full strength any minute now, and will be looking to take a 14-5 lead.
Yeah, number 23, Alec Calkins brings it up the court or up the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover for the Wolverines, and you don't want to see that still without the full man advantage, and now you're back to full strength there. Number 18, Ben Paris coming running back in. And number 10, Sean McKenna is going to run back for defense right now. Great play by the Wolverines to get the ball loose. It's still a ground ball, but the Vikings come up with it 7 minutes left in this game. Still an advantage for the Wolverines. Great save by Gunner off a shot from Radke. And it's going to be out of bounds. They're going to call that a turnover for the Vikings. The Wolverines will take possession. Let's see if they can successfully clear this ball, something they struggled to do a lot today. Only 18 for 23. That's 5 missed clear attempts, and that's 5 possessions you've lost just because you can't get the ball past the midway line. And, number 10, Sean McKenna runs straight into 2 Vikings players and just trucks them almost. And now you're running behind the cage is Hank Adams. He's the most experienced player on the second unit out of Greenwood Village, Colorado. Smaller guy, 5'7", but he's going to run this offense for the Wolverines with 6:19 left in this last quarter.
Wolverines possessing the ball for not too much this fourth quarter. Cleveland State has done their job in getting possession in the fourth and final quarter. A lot of that is thanks to Michigan exclusionary penalties that have left them a man down. At full strength here, though.
Noah Fossey passes it inside to Ryan Pryor. He takes a shot, but it goes over the cage. And number 7, Brandon Schimmel, will run over and be the first one to the sideline, so he will get the ball and retain possession for the Wolverines. And now McKenna will get the ball, run straight through the defense, pass it to number 6, Hank Adams, but it'll go over his head, and that's going to be a turnover for the Wolverines. 5:42 left in the game. And the Vikings are bringing it up now, very methodical in how they're acting. They're not really going for the win here, and that's another slashing call. This time it's going to be on McKenna, and it's just a matter of time that they're going to get the advantage to. They're going to give the advantage to the Cleveland State here, but it doesn't look like they have much of one. But Cleveland State has this possession to do what they please with the flag on the field already. Running behind the cage. Passes it to number 16. 16 running on the far right side of the field, going towards the goal. Midline extended, far left side. Passes it behind the cage again. Manning Harry Boggle up. That's another flag.
Wolverines getting really sloppy here.
4:46 left. And you don't want to see this if you're Connery, as depth is a large issue for this Wolverine team. And you don't have much depth going to Big Ten play. Injuries could play a key part in this. But a great save by Gunner. And I just mentioned the depth issue, but I mean the goalkeeper depth on this team is something that has to be talked about. Garn has given up 1 goal thus far, and it wasn't his fault. He's had, what, 6 saves now? It's an 86% save percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing, and he's playing fantastic right now. I know Trowbridge also had a great game. It's a 67% save percentage. Only gave up 4 goals. These 2 goalkeepers look amazing right now. Granted, it's against Cleveland State, not a Power 5 opponent, but you know, it's still very, very good to see the Wolverines with their goalkeeper hurt being able to bring in their second, third guys, and he's very successful with it.
Goalie depth has been impressive. However, the Wolverines have drawn 4 more fouls than they have scored goals in this quarter rather. No goals on the quarter, 4 fouls. Not what you want to see, as Cleveland State now has the man-up advantage for another 42 seconds.
Looks like it's actually going to be Fossey on that play with the advantage, and a great defensive possession there for the Wolverines. They have a man up here. Oh, and he's tackled. And they're going to give the ball to the Vikings there, and they're going to say that number 8, Hunter Batskow, pushed off. And that's a very controversial call for the crowd here. It looked like he was tackled essentially by the Cleveland State players.
Things have gotten a bit chippy with 4 to go. Michigan jarred the ball loose and then got a little bit too physical on the way back.
Not a foul there, but they're going to give possession to the Vikings, who are passing it around the cage right now.
So the Vikings lost possession but got it back in time with still 10 seconds to go on that first man-up possession. 2 to go, 1, it's over now.
And they still have it until he's back. They're going to get a shot, and it goes off the cage, but they keep it in. It's going to stay Viking ball with 3:23 left, 13-5. Wolverines still winning this game. Nick Wendell takes the ball behind the cage, and that's going to be a turnover for the Vikings as he attempts to pass it to number 11, Michael Wilson.
And there's so much snow built up on that far touchline that the ball basically stopped the second it rolled out of bounds. It was stuck in about 4-inch deep snow.
Yeah, the field is not unplayable, but it's very, very thin right now. That's going to be an offside call. They're not going to call it. They're going to give an advantage to the Wolverines. And the snow stops that ball from rolling out of bounds on that play. It was about to be a turnover for the Wolverines, but the snow over there looks about like 2 or 3 inches at this point. Just stopped it in its tracks.
Thank goodness for these bright orange balls. Otherwise, if the ball rolled out, it'd be lost.
It's a struggle here for the Wolverines. Playing very sloppy, but so is Cleveland State. Luckily, the second team attack and midfield unit struggling to find any semblance of an offense right now. Not really dodging by anybody, and a turnover there by the Wolverines unless they get to it first, which they will. A solid play there by Brandon Chima to get to the ball. 2:11 left in this quarter, 22. Justin Gibbons comes into the game, passing around the cage. Excuse me. 21. Noah Fossey behind now. Runs up, takes a skip shot there. Gets hit pretty hard, falls to the ground. But the ball does fall to a Michigan player behind the cage. And now number 10, McKenna, takes a shot. But again, number 24, Ryan Pryor's behind the cage. And someone's always behind there just waiting to get that ball in case it misses. And the fact that the Wolverines are getting all these second chance possessions is just a testament to Connery's offense and a great job and a great advantage for the Wolverines. Passing around the goal line here, gets inside. McKenna takes a shot, and that goes in. Fantastic shot there. Just bigger than the rest of his opponents. 6'3", 220. McKenna just bullying a defender who's under 6 foot, and you love to see that if you're the Wolverines. If you can get some production out of this second midfield line, then you're in very good shape in Big Ten play.
And a great job there with 83 seconds remaining in the game. Wolverines finally get on the board here in the fourth quarter and make sure that Kevin Connery isn't having nightmares when he goes to bed tonight about the lack of depth on this team. Was able to score a goal there and put to rest a few of Connery's concerns. 14 an important goal total because that's more goals than Ohio State put up on Cleveland State a week ago, and it's more goals than the Wolverines put up on Cleveland State a year ago in the season opener in Cleveland last year.
And a win there by Tesler, but a great save by Gunner. Right off the face-off win, a quick pass by Tesler to a Viking right in front of the goal, and just Gunner just enveloped that shot there. And you gotta love that play by the goalkeeper, that's his 7th save of the game, almost has as many as Trowbridge at this point in 1 quarter. And you gotta love that, seeing this if you're Connery, seeing the depth at goalie for the future of this program. And just number 21, Noah Fossey, just running through the Vikings offense. No one puts a hand on him, and with 50 seconds left in this game, he scores to put Michigan up 15-5. And that's the 45th shot for the Wolverines, the 23rd on target, and that's an amazing show of effort for the Wolverines, leading Cleveland State by 15 in shots, and a fantastic offensive performance by the Wolverines today.
Really has been. They've gotten 2 goals now here in the 4th quarter, helping Kevin Connery not be so concerned about depth issues. A really good 30 seconds of play there in between the Wolverines' 2 most recent goals.
50 seconds left. Important for McDonald to get a face-off win here. Good to see, just for some, just to get some confidence building into the following games. But he loses that one anyway, and he's going to have to come back on defense now. And this is something you never want to see. You never want to see a face-off guy on defense. Great play there by number 5, Ben Cirillo, the freshman, just manning up his guy and just beating him down. And that's going to be the Wolverines' ball, and that should just about do it if they can hang on to this.
30 seconds to go. They look like they want to score.
Yeah, Connery's telling him to slow down now, and I wouldn't expect a shot if I were the Wolverines, fan base especially. Just passing it around here and just running out this 13 seconds. A great win by the Wolverines, assuming that in the next 10 seconds Cleveland State does not score 10 goals. And a ground ball there, 3-2-1, and that's going to be a Wolverine victory. 1-0 in the season for the Michigan men's lacrosse team. A 15-5 victory over the Cleveland State Vikings. A good game. The Cleveland State Vikings will fall to 0-2, losing to both Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan winning by 10, Ohio State winning by 9. A great offensive performance by the Wolverines. And what are your 2 takeaways and your player of the game for the Wolverines today?
Player of the game, Brent Nosworthy almost always takes that honor, but we did have a good effort here from Alex Buckenvidge. Really, the 2 made it hard to pick, but I am going to have to go with Brent Nosworthy. He just had an unbelievable 3rd quarter. If he plays like that, if he has a quarter like that every single game, the Wolverines will be competitive in just about every game on the schedule this year. Really impressive. He ended up with 5 points, 4 of them coming in the 3rd quarter. Great game from him. I'm going to have to give him the player of the game. 2 takeaways would be an okay showing, I think, on face-offs. Michigan I think they ended up winning more than they lost. You have the official stat broadcast up there.
Actually, it was tied 12-12.
Okay, tied there. That's better than last year. They really had struggles. Hopefully they can get better on that. Wolverines are improving from their start last year, as I mentioned briefly. They won 13-8 in Cleveland last year to start the season, winning 15-5 here in the snow in Ann Arbor. Looking to maybe add a Big Ten win to their resume this year, get more competitive in the Big Ten. If they could get a couple, that'd be great. Big Ten's such a tough conference. As a 7-year-old program, it's hard for the Wolverines to get good recruiting traction here. But this is progress for them, a good showing, really great keeper depth.
You're 100% right. That was my best takeaway. You know, the keeper depth here, you looked at Gunner, you saw Trowbridge earlier, and with height hurt, I mean, you have 2 goalies right now who can carry the load until he's back in 2 to 3 weeks. And one more player that I'm going to give a quick shout-out to, the starting defender, Nick DiCaprio, 6-foot guy, a little bit smaller. He had 4 ground balls today, and he was doing a great job of finding the ball and just picking it up, and a great finish to the game for the Wolverines. 15-5 the score. Michigan defeats the Cleveland State Vikings. This has been a WCBN production of Michigan men's lacrosse. Softball later today in Tampa. Our friends Jeremy Parks and Alex Strains will be on that call at 3:45 in about 45 minutes. So you have a little bit of time to go out and get some food before you settle in and listen to a solid lacrosse game in Tampa. And you can, if you're from Ann Arbor, you can listen to how how warm it is there.
Yeah, do we really want to plug them? We're going to be doing them a favor here, even though they left us in Ann Arbor. They're in Tampa this weekend, and it's cold here in Ann Arbor. So maybe don't. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. But
it's going to be a great broadcast. You should definitely listen. For Daniel Thompson, I'm Alex Kramer. Thank you for listening, and I'm going to leave you with a good night and a Go Blue.